What's up guys? For today's video, I'm putting together a VEVOR Smoker Pellet Grill. You can get these directly off Amazon. I'll have a link in the description if you want to check them out. All right, so now the main thing I really want to get on is the leg so we can get this upright. At that point, everything else will be much easier to work on. I found the manual. I'm gonna go ahead and try and put this together and then we'll see what it looks like. So step one is gonna be installing the caster wheels onto all the legs. Two of the wheels have brakes. The wheels with brakes go on the left-hand side of the grill. All right, so now we have all the caster wheels on the legs here. Let's go ahead and assemble the bottom tray. All right, well, the instructions are telling me to start putting some attachments onto the grill, but I think all that's going to be a lot easier once the grill is on the frame. All right, now that we have the grill on the stands here, I'm going to go ahead and put the screws in to lock this in place, and then I'm going to work on getting the different attachments and handles and everything like that on. All right, so I got this secured to the frame. Helpful tip: don't tighten down the bottom frame parts until you get this on top and start screwing everything in. Some of the holes didn't line up perfectly, so I had to kind of crank them in there. Okay, so now the front tray is installed. Comes up, locks in place, do what you need to do. And you just lift it up a little bit, and then it falls right down like that to fold in when you don't need it. Awesome. All right, we have the heat shield here. So this is gonna go in first. There's a slotted side. The slotted side goes onto the slotted portion over here. So this is gonna cover the heat. That way the heat radiates out from the sides and doesn't directly cook the food, and all of the smoke comes up to the sides too. However, if you're cooking things like a steak, or you've smoked your food and you want to add a sear to the end of it, you move the sear plate out of the way and it allows the direct heat to come straight up. Now this rod is going to come out through the hole right here like that, and then this end of the rod where it's got the divot on it is going to go right on to this notch right here. And then now with your handle, you'll screw that onto the outside. We'll be able to close the shield and then open it as needed. All right, now that assembly is done, let's go ahead and get this plugged in, some pellets in the hopper, and get our first burn off complete. While that's warming up, I'll be going over the build quality and the installation so far, and I'll give you my first impressions. Actually, I'm gonna turn it back on. I'm gonna hold prime. I feel it moving. Something's happening. All right, we're burning in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the lid. All right, well, while this is coming up to temp, I can go over the build quality and installation so far. Overall, it wasn't too bad. There was a couple screws that were hard to get in on the inside, but that was pretty much my fault for tightening up the bottom framing too tight before I put the barrel on top. Like I had said earlier, if you're going to be putting this together, try to keep the bottom portion a little loose. That way when you sit the top barrel on top, your screws will work in a little bit easier without having to crank them down. I stripped out 2 screws, putting them in. I had some extras on hand, so it wasn't a big deal, but yeah, be aware of that. As far as build quality goes, overall, it's pretty nice. It's got a nice finish on the whole thing. The metal feels a little bit on the thinner side. The temperature selector feels really nice and solid. I love that it comes with a temperature probe just for the meat. It actually has a port for a second temperature probe if you wanted to pick one up, so you can monitor the temps of 2 different meats or the same meat in 2 different places while it's smoking on the grill. Right now it's coming up to temp. I don't see any issues with this so far. It primed nice and easy. It holds a lot of pellets in the hopper. I feel like we're going to be set on here. So initial first impressions are it's got everything you'd want out of a smoker grill. I love that it has the folding tray on the front here. That is super useful. I love that it comes down so it's out of your way when you don't need it. Being on 4 casters is super convenient. I was able to wheel this all around the garage, no problems there. So now we got that completely open. Gonna let this, like I said, burn off. Get all any of the factory processing chemicals and stuff out of there, and then we'll have a nice clean grill to work with. All right, so the burn off is complete. I went ahead and after the hour, I just pressed the power button. It took about 15 to 20 minutes to cool itself down and turn itself off. Just a little reminder, anytime you turn off your pellet grill, make sure you just hit the power button, but you leave it plugged in. That goes through a shutdown cycle, which will actually rewind the auger some to make sure that your lit pellets don't ignite all of your unlit pellets. My plan for the first cook is smoked cheeseburgers. Nice and simple. It's gonna add a great depth of flavor to it. I'm really excited to get this on the grill. So now this is all heated, I'm gonna grab the burgers, throw them on, and see how it goes. All right, let's go ahead and throw these burgers on. It's nice and smoky. Let's give it a go and see how it goes. Definitely got smoke coming. Now that's what I want to walk out to. Oh, the temperature is actually pretty perfect, 215 right now. All right, well, let's take a look. It's been about 20 minutes. Oh, look at those burgers. There's no rush. Temperature staying strong at 225. They are looking delicious. I think I'm gonna flip them, let it smoke a little bit on the other side, and then crank up the heat a little bit. Oh, we're looking good now.
Where's the cheese?
Gonna throw our, we gotta sear it first. Gonna throw our comically small buns on here. Those up top. All right, now we're gonna try the sear plate out. So, I'm gonna open this up. Oh boy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, flame broiled. And before we top it with cheese, that's how it came out after the sear. Great. If you guys are interested in seeing what I put on this thing, let me know in the comments. I'll throw some recipes up if you're interested. I'm really excited to get out here and try some different meats. If you guys found this video helpful, don't forget to let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.